In less than a month, tourists from all over the world are going to be making their way to Augusta and spend their time and money at local businesses and restaurants. And those businesses are doing what they can to get ready. Here, Taylor Martin joining us now live outside downtown Augusta this morning. Taylor, what are businesses doing to prepare?
Well, Ashley, they're prepping the shelves, stocking inventory, and making sure everything is ready to welcome people to Augusta. For business owners, March is a month of momentum. They say the foot traffic could not come at a better time for warmer weather and a boost in sales. From those who have been here before to first-timers, preparation is in full swing during the entire month of March. And some owners tell us March has already been a good month for sales, so they're excited to see what's to come.
I feel like in retail, sometimes spring can be a little bit difficult, but I think I told you, November, December, obviously we do amazing, but March is actually our third best month.
Now, with these downtown storefronts open and patios filled, they're continuing to use the rest of the month of March to prepare for what's coming next month.
Yeah, a lot of people that are going to be coming into town. Thank you a lot for that live update, Taylor, down for us this morning.
6:03 now. A suspect makes bond in Burke County. The sheriff's office says Hannah Cobb was granted a $25,000 bond and made it this past weekend. As per bond conditions, she'll need to be monitored and surrender all guns to law enforcement. She's charged with felony involuntary manslaughter in connection to her boyfriend's death.
Deputies say they investigated reports of a shooting on February the 23rd on 4 Points Road. Investigators say they found Telvin Osborne in the master bedroom of a home shot in the chest.
We learned Cobb was the one who had called for help. Then on Friday, more details about what allegedly led up to Osborne getting shot came to light. The prosecution says the incident happened after the pair had been out at Augusta clubs until 2 in the morning. In a report from deputies, Cobb says she was checking her gun, saying she and Osborne did this every night. She says she thought the safety was on. However, during her hearing, we heard about a fight that escalated quickly.
She acknowledged that she and Mr. Osborne had been arguing that night, and that led to a physical altercation between the two of them. She discusses that she had a Ring camera and provided camera footage to the sheriff's office. Investigators' notes recorded that the footage showed them arguing, with her saying, "Get out," and him leaving the residence carrying clothing.
The district attorney's office says that other friends claimed Cobb was upset that night. They allege she believed Osborne was talking to another woman. Then the state brought up texts exchanged between the two, saying Osborne messaged her with, "You'd better hide." We explain the rest of the allegations leading up to Osborne's death on WRDW.com. Just search for "Girlfriend Bonds Out," and you'll find everything we heard during that hearing. And of course, we'll continue to follow this and keep you updated as we learn more.
New lawsuits have been filed against a former and current deputy with the Richmond County Sheriff's Office. Is in connection to a deadly crash in March of 2023. Donna Fager was in the car with her husband when a Richmond County deputy hit them. Donna's husband, Jay, died from his injuries, and the deputy, Ty Daly, was driving a sheriff's office vehicle. Warrants from Georgia State Patrol say that Daly was going 90 in a 55-mile-per-hour zone. Daly turned himself into the Burke County Detention Center in May of last year. The two lawsuits were filed March 7th, one for Donna's personal injuries, the other for Jay's injuries and wrongful death. The lawsuits say that Daly's speed and failure to follow law enforcement vehicle operations caused that deadly crash. It also accuses the Augusta-Richmond County government of negligence in training, hiring, and supervising personnel.
A family in Aiken has been displaced after a home fire. The American Red Cross says they're helping 3 people after that fire yesterday. It happened on Gooseneck Road. We've reached out to learn more about the cause of the fire. And if you'd like to donate, go to the Red Cross website and click Donate.
A wanted suspect is now facing charges after a stabbing last week. Andrew Wilson was arrested on Thursday after the Richmond County Sheriff's Office says he was wanted on March 5th. Wilson is accused of stabbing a man on Kingsgate Drive. Deputies say that when they got to the scene, the victim was bleeding from his thigh and hand. The victim told deputies that he and Wilson got into an argument before the stabbing. Wilson faces aggravated assault, aggravated battery, as well as a weapons charge.
A suspect is now facing charges after a stabbing at Bon Air Apartments last week. This is Austin Campbell. He's accused of stabbing someone in the neck and shoulder after an argument. The victim was sent to the hospital for their injuries. Richmond County deputies say Campbell was in the fitness room of the apartments and was arrested there. They also found a knife next to his foot. Campbell faces aggravated assault charges.
There's a boil water advisory in McCormick County. People on Bay Circle and Savannah Lakes Village should boil their water for 1 minute before drinking or cooking. McCormick County Water and Sewer says that dirt or debris may have entered the system due to a water leak. The advisory takes effect when water is restored to the area.
A part of 7th Street is closed for construction. Wellstar MCG is installing permanent exterior signs that's currently branded as Augusta University. Until March 28th, the west side of 7th Street will remain closed, but officials say the parking lot and deck will remain open during that construction.
Why did the house fall down?
I don't know.
Because he didn't call my dad.
It's Truck Month with the Ford Crew.
It's time for the best deals across the full lineup. F-Series, best-selling trucks for 48 years. We've got Maverick and the North American 2025 Truck of the Year, Ford Ranger, fully prepared.
Did you sleep here last night?
If you stay ready, you don't need to get ready.
And this crew is Truck Month ready.
Get up to $11,250 in total savings or 3.9 for 60, plus up to $8,750 in total savings on select F-150s.
Weinberger's Furniture and Weinberger's Interiors Market have come together.
One incredible store, one massive selection.
The Weinberger's Merging Sale happening now.
Visit Weinberger's Furniture and see the new selection all at the main location on Riverwatch Parkway.
Foundation for
Tournament week will be here in just 3 weeks, and that also means Augusta will be packed with patrons who will all be looking to shop and eat local.
Now, before they get here, those businesses are prepping for the increased foot traffic. Here's Taylor Martin live this morning at the Augusta Common with more on what businesses are doing to get ready. Good morning, Taylor.
Good morning, Ashley and Nick. Yes, these downtown businesses are prepping the shelves and stocking inventory and just doing everything they can to be ready for the influx of people coming in just a few weeks. For some, the real spring season is just beginning. Business owners say the foot traffic could not come at a better time with warmer weather and a boost in sales. From new owners to those who've been here before, preparation is in full swing during the month of March. And some owners tell us March has already been good for sales, so they're excited for what's to come, especially for those who are experiencing this for the first time.
People tell me, and actually this week is like the second week in April is like packed, and I'm super excited for people to come on my restaurant too.
Now, some businesses say that spring can be a tough time for sales, but here in March, things start to pick up.
All right, yeah, a lot of new businesses taking part in a tournament week for the first time. Thanks a lot, Taylor, live in downtown Augusta for us this morning.
6:32 now. Hannah Cobb, the woman accused of involuntary manslaughter for shooting her boyfriend, stood in front of a judge for the first time Friday for a bond hearing. Cobb was granted a $25,000 bond, level 1 monitoring, and had to surrender all her guns to law enforcement. Last month, she was arrested in connection to the shooting death of 30-year-old Telvin Osborne. Cobb was the one who called deputies for help, but on Friday, more details about what allegedly led up to Osborne getting shot came to light. Prosecuting attorneys say the pair had been out at clubs in Augusta until 2 a.m. A report says Cobb told deputies she thought the gun was unsafe while checking it, something she says she did every night. But in the hearing, we learned the pair had a fight that escalated to a physical altercation. In ring camera footage, the pair can be seen arguing, with her telling Osborne to get out.
Anna Cobb says that Telvin returned to the home with a knife, that he broke in, he threatened her, and he choked her. And she managed to break free from him and went into a bathroom. She indicated that she was going to harm herself, but when he broke into the bathroom, she turned and fired the gun one time at Mr. Osborne.
Investigators say they found Osborne in the master bedroom of a home, shot in the chest. He was pronounced dead at the hospital.
Yesterday's early morning storms caused some damage in our area, and some had to watch out for possible tornadoes.
The storm began before 6:30 yesterday morning, with the worst of the rain and wind over by about 8.
And there were at least 5 tornado warnings. We don't know if any touched down. Officials at the National Weather Service in Columbia say the crews are going to be surveying storm damage in Burke and Barnwell counties. Most people in the CSRA didn't lose power, but at least 88,000 were down across Georgia yesterday. And you can find tips on what to do during these storms or if you lose power on our website, Wrdw.com.
We're working to learn more about an accident from last night that happened on Jefferson Davis Highway and Thompson Avenue after 11 o'clock. Aiken County Dispatch confirmed at least one car rolled over. The accident appears to have happened near the Ashley Motel in Beach Island. We reached out to the Sheriff's Office and Highway Patrol to get more information.
A suspect wanted for several armed robberies and other crimes across Augusta last year is now facing life in prison. On Friday, we learned that a jury found DeMond Jackson guilty last week. He was convicted of several armed robberies, kidnappings, carjackings, and shootings. The incidents range from April to May of last year. He was sentenced to 7 consecutive life sentences, followed by 280 years in the Georgia Department of Corrections.
If you live in Grovetown, today is the final day the county will pick up any debris still left from Hurricane Helene. Officials say contractors are nearing completion for total debris pickup.
They say in total, about 54,000 cubic yards of storm debris have been collected. If you do have any storm debris, make sure it's at the curb unbagged today by 5 p.m. or else contractors will not be picking up your debris. The foodies. Some in Georgia are calling on Governor Brian Kemp to veto a bill they say protects billion-dollar companies instead of hard-working Georgians. Your State House reporter Abby Kasouris explains the bill regarding health risks of pesticides and fertilizers.
A bill shielding pesticide and fertilizer companies from lawsuits beyond federal EPA limits is on the governor's desk for his signature. Health groups want him to veto it, and here's why. They say it's all about this product, Roundup. Roundup is used by the majority of farmers. The manufacturer, Bayer, is facing more than 60,000 claims Roundup causes cancer. They've paid billions to settle lawsuits so far.
At some point, we may recognize that some of the things we're using aren't safe.
Attorney Nicole Johnson testified against the bill, saying it's like giving tobacco companies a pass, saying more research should be done before removing liability.
Even with the lawsuits, look how long it took to recognize the connection between smoking and lung cancer.
In 2020, the EPA published an interim decision saying they found no risk of concern to human health when glyphosate is used in accordance with its current label, while additional studies in the National Library of Medicine found glyphosate can be toxic.
I don't come up here often to have to defend bills, but I'm mad as I can be right now.
Farmer and state representative Robert Dickey fearful lawsuits may force Bayer to pull the product, saying crop yields would suffer.
And then they see an opportunity to go after agriculture, go after our food supply. And I'm not going to stand here and let it happen.
Democrat Stacey Evans voicing her frustration.
Usually we have at least 24 hours notice before we're going to consider a bill. Not always, but that was a little weird. And we know this is being pushed by Bayer that recently bought Monsanto, and it is about Roundup.
Evans not surprised with the vote, calling it frustrating, saying ultimately it's consumers that will suffer.
This is being pushed by big business, period. And we just let it sail right through.
Georgia, one of 21 states where similar legislation has been introduced. In Atlanta, I'm Abby Kasouris.
All right, South Carolina could be getting its first casino. It'd be in the town of Santee in Orangeburg County. Deputies say the casino could bring in more than 4 million visitors each year. But right now, there's no timetable for when construction would start, because to get the project off the ground, a bill needs to be passed to amend the state's code of laws. The amendment would establish a South Carolina Gaming Commission to award casino licenses in certain counties. Taking a quick break, but first taking you outside, giving you a live look here in Grovetown. It is 6:46.
I'm Tony. And some big news from one of our own here at News 1226. You recognize that guy? Sitting next to me, Nick Proto's engaged.
Yeah.
These are pics of him and his fiance. I was scrolling through Facebook and I saw that and I'm like, what?
Yeah. Yeah, tried to keep it pretty tight-lipped. It was kind of it was tough because I had to have some people involved. But yeah, this weekend my parents came into town and we've been together a couple years and felt about right. So sent her all over town on a little scavenger hunt to some places that mean a lot to us, and had her friends at every spot. And so we got to celebrate with some people who mean a lot to us, and that was great. So it was very exciting.
Good. I'm glad that yeah, because I was telling you. I was on Zillow and you were saying like, oh yeah, me and Ashlyn are looking for a home. And I thought in my head, I'm like, wait a minute, I wonder if they're, they're going to live together. I wonder if they're going to get married. And
Yeah.
then that happened.
Pretty soon. Yeah, well, not pretty soon, but next year. But yeah, so it was exciting. Thank you. Yeah, it was a good time.
All right. Well, now it's time to look at your